here tonight. We'd like to talk about our sanitary sewer. If we can approach this time and talk to the council.
You've got 3 minutes to talk. I mean,
okay.
we're not going to have an actionable item here. Of course, if you got concerns, you can always give the other staff, but
okay.
This is your time.
Yep. All right.
Just before you start, Jen,
yeah.
I met and had a discussion on Friday. We'd still like to get on the agenda. Just a discussion about the length of their sewer hookup, and so they're lateral, and so maybe at a future date we can put them on the agenda. But I think it'd be good to hear their concerns and take that under advisement.
Go right ahead.
Okay. Well, as I said, we're here tonight to talk about our sanitary sewer lateral. Right now, we moved into our house in 2003. We are hooked up to city water. City water runs all the way up to our house, but we've had our own septic system. We believe the septic system was put in at the time that the house was built in '76, so it's about 38 years old. We've had some issues with the septic system, and so we decided to look at what our options would be, whether we would go with a new septic system out there or what the possibilities of connecting to the city sewer main would be. We looked at the septic system would be about $20,000. In order to do the connect to the sanitary sewer, the closest manhole is at the bottom of Lamplighter Lane, which would need to be about 230 feet from a pump and lift station in our yard. So we'd have to do a new line out of our house around the corner to the northern side of our property, and then from there put in a grinder lift station pump and pump a pressurized pipe 230 feet to the manhole, and looking at boring underground in order to do that. The city, I know, had, or the Public Works Department looked at this back in April, and the engineering estimates that were provided show that it was like $41,000 to do that. I do have some family in the business, and so we've gone through and got some more estimates, and we feel like we can get it done for under 20 in order to do the project. But we were wondering if how the city could work with us, and if there's a possibility of extending, instead of having us go the 230 feet to the next manhole, could the city look at extending the sewer main closer to our home? Or is there some other way that the city could help with this project? And I guess that's pretty much my 3-minute quick spiel.
Well, it's going to be involved. So we'll just, my advice is keep working with staff. They've been aware of it. Thanks for bringing it to council's attention. Anything else on this, Steve?
Just if, I don't think we want to do any more engineer's estimate, we can maybe bring something forward for consideration at the next council meeting. We have other laterals in town. I asked you to contact Kathy, and so we need to take that into consideration as well, that there may be some extenuating circumstances here. There may not be. So we'll work together and bring something forward on the 27th. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay. Sounds good. Anything else you need?
No.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Any other interested citizens? Please state your name for the record, sir.
Glenn Pollicher. I have a handout. Okay, I'd like to read this to you. This is very important. I can't think of anything that could be more important. The new Rushford Peterson School is in big trouble.
Do we need to do a speech?
What?
I was under the impression in the last meeting that you said you were going to let the lawyers handle this.
Well, I think you need to hear this. This is important. This is millions of dollars at stake. I'm going to read it. You can interrupt me if you can cut me off if you want to. The new Rushford Peterson School is in big trouble. The site plan submitted to you for variance on CUPs is the latest in a series of very bad and illegal plans for the new school. There is no way the school can ever be built using this plan. A list of things that are illegal has been forwarded to my lawyer, from my lawyer to the school's lawyer. Unless and until the site plans are completely legal, the new school cannot and will not be built. I would like to give a rebuttal to several things School Superintendent Chuck Ehler and an architect said at the City Council meeting about the variances and CUPs at your meeting on June 8th. First, Mr. Ehler stated that my wife and I only own a small amount of land in the city of Rushford and that most of our land is outside the city. The truth is that we own about 27 acres within the city limits of Rushford and about 25 acres outside the city limits. Mr. Ehler has been told this fact on more than one occasion. The land within the city limits has been plotted for houses at least 3 times, and I estimate 40 new homes will be built here. Also, Mr. Ehler stated, as he has often done before, that we only have the right to ingress and egress our property. Legal documents clearly state that our 66-foot easement is roadway property and that it must be kept clear at all times. Mr. Ehler does not seem to understand what the terms ingress and egress mean. Ingress means a lane in and egress means a lane out. In other words, a 2-lane road. Also, 2 lanes are standard for a 66-foot easement. How many of you would allow any part of the school to be built blocking your driveway or the road to your house? The way the school officials think, they have every right to deny you access to your own garage. Someone from the architect firm stated that the way they would deal with the drainage problem would be to put a storm sewer below the proposed embankment. How stupid is that? When water from the ditch creates a mudslide out of the proposed man-made embankment, it could easily plug the storm sewer, allowing water and mud to flow freely into the school. Finally, I don't understand why the press suppresses so much information when it looks bad for the school officials or the new school. Doesn't the public have a right to know? I request that the newspapers publish this letter in its entirety. Everyone seems convinced that the plans for the new school are moving forward smoothly and seamlessly. At some point, the truth must come out. Now is as good a time as any.
Are you done?
Yep.
Thank you. Okay. Any other interested citizens? And with that, we will move on. Number 5, notices, communications, announcements. 5A, notification from Mediacom regarding migration of channels and launching of new channels. 5B, SEMLM, notification of summer meetings scheduled July 30th in Wabasha. Any members of the council wishing to attend that?
Anybody else can, it would be great.
C, 2015, homecoming request for donation of funds and deeds for volunteers. Number 6, the consent agenda. Questions, comments, concerns on the consent agenda?
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Dahl, second by Mr. Culbertson. Any questions or comments? In favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 7, public hearing. There is none this evening. Number 8,